Two brothers once stood in a sun-drenched field, but only one of them would walk away. This is the story of how a single choice changed the world and the hearts of every family since. After leaving the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve began a new life and were soon blessed with two sons. The older brother was named Cain, and the younger brother was named Abel. Although life outside the garden was harder, God still loved their family and cared for them every single day. As they grew older, each brother found a way to work the land and provide for the family. Cain became a farmer, spending his days planting fields of grain and gathering heavy baskets of fruit. Abel became a shepherd, carefully watching over his sheep and protecting the little lambs from danger. Both brothers knew that everything they had was a gift, but their hearts were about to be tested. One day, both brothers decided to bring an offering to God to show their thanks. Abel searched his flock for the very best, choosing his most precious lamb to give with a grateful heart. Cain brought some of his harvest too, but he gave it without any thought or real love for God. God was pleased with Abel's offering because it came from sincere faith and a heart of worship. But Cain noticed the difference, and a dark cloud of jealousy began to grow inside him. Cain became very upset, and God saw the darkness that was starting to take over his mind. God spoke to him softly, asking why he was so angry and why his face looked so sad. God warned him that if he chose to do right, he would be accepted. But sin was lurking nearby like a wild animal. He told Cain that he must not let anger control him and urged him to choose what is good. God was offering Cain a way out of his anger, but Cain refused to listen to the warning. Jealousy is a dangerous thing when it is allowed to grow unchecked in the human heart. Cain invited his brother Abel out into the field, hiding the anger that was boiling inside him. Filled with a terrible rage, Cain chose to do the unthinkable and attacked his younger brother. Abel's life ended there in the dirt, and the first family experienced a sadness that could never be fully healed. The voice of God called out to him in the silence, asking where his brother Abel had gone. Cain tried to hide his crime, asking if he was supposed to be the one who watched over his brother. God told Cain that the ground itself was crying out because of the terrible thing he had done. Because of his choice, Cain's life would now be difficult, and he would have to leave his family behind. Even in this moment of judgment, God showed mercy by promising to protect Cain from those who might hurt him. Adam and Eve felt a deep brokenness as they realized one son was gone and the other was wandering far away. They learned the hard way that jealousy and anger lead to choices that can never be taken back. Yet, even in their tears, they remembered God's promise to one day send a Savior who would fix what was broken. They hoped for a future where love would finally defeat the darkness of sin. We all face the same choice that Cain did when we feel jealous or angry at someone else. When a friend succeeds or gets something new, we have the chance to celebrate with them instead of feeling bitter. If we feel anger starting to grow, we can stop and pray, asking God to help us choose love. God sees more than just what we do. He looks directly into our hearts to see why we do it. He wants us to worship Him with a sincere heart and to treat every person with kindness and forgiveness. Choosing love may not always be the easiest path, but it is the only one that leads to true joy.